All right, so what do you do when you have a setback? So I'm going to go through a couple different scenarios and give you some perspective. Shit happens. It happens to all of us. Uh, I have setbacks. I I experience setbacks. I've experienced setbacks all across, not only in my physical training, because anytime you start pushing yourself and push yourself outside the comfort zone or outside the realm of keeping yourself inside the box, you may have resistance. You may put yourself at higher risk of tweaking something going wrong. And we try to prevent that as much as possible, obviously, specifically with resistance training in my program. But it happens. It happens to me. It happens to all of us. Aaron has been dealing with something since the beginning of the year. It's working through it a little bit. But anyway, setbacks are going to happen. Shit happens, guys. We have to evaluate. I'm going to give you perspectives across. Now, I talked about things happening with it, like injury or setback with a workout. Setbacks happen across the board, not only with your workouts, but it may happen in you hitting certain numbers in your professional career, on the scale, in your assessment. But it's gonna, things are not always going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's how we respond to the situation. That's the most important component. Because man, I've done a lot of being an entrepreneur for 20 years. I've had a lot of shit fail. And put all this work and effort in, having this bright shiny idea that just flops, and it's like shit. Sometimes you want to just feel defeated, but what is the best way is like evaluate. Okay, what could I have done different? Did I do all the right correct components? What's the feedback? How can I respond? How can I turn this into a positive component? So, was the system broke? Do you need to realign your patterns, what you're doing to make sure that you're aligning with where you want to go with your goals? Are you doing all the things you need to do to be successful or close enough? So these are just ways you want to kind of step back, reframe some of the language, understand you do have 100% control. Sometimes we get tested. Do you really want it? And does it? You don't have to frame it that way. But I sometimes I'm like, oh crap, do I really want to be successful? Do I want to rebuild a business? Do I want to, coach online? Yes. You evaluate it. I'm always supposed to be. And I had to put the leader hat on and come from the front and post a lot of motivational components up on the front side and the rah sometimes. Dude, do I have bad days? Of course. I try to reframe my language when I do into more positive and feedback and control my state, because that allows me to be productive and still show up for you guys. So we're going to have setbacks, guys. I know a couple of you are going through it right now. We're trying to work through it. We will work through it. It's evaluations. When injuries come, they're not fun. I've been through them all. And what I think the biggest thing I've learned, during the setbacks is, I'm going to go specifically to resistance training, is okay. Was I doing all the things wrong? Yep. It just happened. It happens sometimes. I've had some setbacks, and I was like, okay, what can I do? How can I consistently still show up and do workouts, even if I can't do the full workout? Do what you can, control what you can, because that's going to allow you to keep moving forward and keep your mental capacity and energy in the right direction. Now, obviously, with any type of soft tissue or other injuries, we want to evaluate. We want to double down on, again, what we can do, adapt to the workouts, adapt the recovery component, and double down on that. And again, in other areas, with nutrition, with your schedule, with relationships, with what you're doing at your place of employment or what you do, you're going to have setbacks. And then again, what I would frame it like this. Okay, What could I have done different? Let's look at the positive components. What's the feedback so I don't repeat that cycle? And visualize what you want instead. And what does that look like for you? And visualize you being successful in the format you want to be successful in. So, guys, just wanted to talk a little bit of truth, because this stuff happens, and it happens across the board. And I think the resilience you build in the process is so important, because when you're resilient, you'll be able to do anything you want and show up consistently, and be successful. And again, will you have some hiccups and setbacks? Maybe not. You don't always, but sometimes we do, and it tests us. And when it tests us, what we want to do is that we want to evaluate. We want to control our state. We want to reframe the emotional components into a positive, and look at what you can do, not what you can't do. Okay? So guys, go out, win the rest of the week. I'll talk with you soon.